I was 16 the summer we moved to Bitter Hollow. My mom had just remarried a guy named Curtis, soft-spoken, barrel-chested, and country to the bone. He'd inherited a plot of land in the West Virginia mountains from his great-uncle, and to him, it was a fresh start. For me, it was a death sentence. Bitter Hollow wasn't on any real maps. You had to drive 40 minutes up a gravel road through dense pine to get there. One gas pump. No school, no store. Just a scattering of houses, a broken-down church, and a lot of silence. But the first thing I noticed was the people. They were off. Every adult had this slow, vacant stare, not mean, just blank. Like they were half listening to something only. They could hear and every night at 9 p.m. sharp, the town shut down. Lights off, doors locked, curtains drawn. Curtis told me it was just tradition. But that tradition hid something ancient. And I learned that the hard way. We lived in a creaky farmhouse on the east ridge of town. It was old, leaning, and sat just a few hundred feet from the woods. The locals called that section the edge of the eye. Whatever that meant. The house had no neighbors, no fences, and no streetlight. At night, the forest swallowed the house whole. Even moonlight didn't dare stay. The day we moved in, Curtis warned me, "Don't go past the stone wall. That's the hollow, it's not ours." I figured it was some local superstition. But I saw it on the second night, the stone wall, and what stood on the other side. It was 9:04 p.m. I just turned off my lamp when I saw movement in the trees. A woman, standing just past the wall, white dress, hair like ink, still as a statue. Her face was mostly shadow except her eyes, which glowed pale blue like fogged glass under moonlight. She didn't move. Didn't speak. Just watched. When I told Curtis, he went pale. "You didn't speak to her, did you?" "No. Why?" He leaned in close. "She don't talk unless she's picked you." "What the hell does that mean?" He didn't answer, but that night, I heard scratching at my window. 3 long strokes. School didn't exist in Bitter Hollow. My mom ordered correspondence books and called it independent learning. But I was bored and curious. So I started exploring. In the church basement, I found an old chest. Inside were yellowed clippings and faded photographs. The kind of stuff small towns forget on purpose. There was a picture from 1932, black and white. A group of women standing in the woods. One stood out taller, thinner, with white hair and pale eyes. The back read, "The Sears Circle, Bitter Hollow Coven." A handwritten note underneath said, "The blue-eyed one never dies. She waits beyond the wall. Those who meet her." I must feed the hollow. A week later, Curtis left for town. Mom was napping. I sat in my room playing with the old transistor radio I found in the attic. It only picked up static. But then, at exactly 9 p.m., it clicked on by itself, and a voice whispered through the static, "I see you. I smell your fear. I will walk in your skin." I yanked the batteries out. It still whispered. The radio melted down the next morning. The plastic warped like it had been cooked from the inside. Curtis wouldn't even touch it. He wrapped it in cloth, took it outside, and buried it. There was one other kid in Bitter Hollow, an 11-year-old girl named Sadie who lived with her grandmother. One day she told me, "If you want to know if she's marked you, look in the bathroom mirror at 9:01 p.m. just for 1 minute." Why 9:01? Because that's when she chooses. I tried it. One night, alone. At 9:01 p.m. sharp, I stood in the dark, facing the mirror. For 20 seconds, nothing. Then my reflection blinked, but I didn't. Its eyes turned pale blue, and it smiled. I passed out cold. 2 nights later, Curtis tried to leave. Said something had changed in the land. We packed bags. Tried to drive out. The road never ended. After 20 minutes, we were back at the same gas station. Every time the gas pump read 0. We hadn't moved. The woman stood at the edge of the trees watching. Curtis lost it. Screamed at her. Threw rocks. That night he walked into the woods with a lantern and never came back. I watched from the porch as the trees swallowed him whole. And then I saw her on the porch. Smiling. The town came the next morning. Silent. Empty. Eyed. Sadie was crying. Her grandmother said, "The hollow takes what it's owed. Or it takes all." Then they handed me a dress. White. Ancient. I refused. But my mother stone-faced took the dress and forced it on me. "You look just like her," she whispered. That night, I stood at the wall. She came, closer than ever. I saw her face. It was mine, but older, sharper, eyes glowing like frostbitten stars. Then she touched my hand. "Now you know." And vanished. A month later, I woke up outside town. On a bus. No memory of getting there. I never returned. But sometimes when I'm near a forest and the sun sets, I see pale blue eyes. Watching. Waiting.